Hello, Speed Gaming, or should I say, Guten Tag, Speed Gaming. You are watching the Casual Boots Tournament. This is top 8 match. Ascend on your left and Ticknaldo on your right. We're having a little bit of issues with the game audio, so just playing some background music right now, but we will definitely get that sorted out in the background. We don't want to hold up these runners and the stream any longer. So what is Casual Boots? You're going to have the standard escape sequence. You're going to get boots and a sword to start. You don't get the sword from Uncle. You actually have it before you even leave the house. It's pretty fun, pretty exciting. You get to dash through the bushes even before you get to talk to the uncle. So it's actually a really fun, really quick mode. We see both the runners have the same seed up. They've said good luck, have fun, and they are going to get started real quick. And I am alone today, but I am joined by Jestro Zooks on tracking. So I'll be interacting with chat a little bit more than usual to sort of bounce some stuff off you guys as well. So we're looking for hopefully a sub 5:15 escape. These runners are both pretty good, so maybe inching ever so closer to that coveted 5-minute escape time. And the uncle giving us a little bit of tips about how you can get through that Aga barrier. So maybe that's a little bit of a sign of things to come. We'll see. A couple different strats here. We got 2 dashes from Tiki, and actually it sounds like we got the game audio as well, so that is great. Oh, early map check. I did see a red 6 crystal in Eastern, and looks like a regular crystal at Hera. And I want to say it was a pendant at Desert, but actually no, I'm catching on the replay there, and it was also another crystal. So 3 crystals in the light world. You'll love to see that, because you're going to have 3 pendants in the dark world, and those are usually the longer dungeons. So this might be a very quick seed. This, I don't want to guess too much, but it could have a lot of goodies in store for us early, and we could have a pretty quick seed here as we get into the castle right around that 1-minute mark. I know Ascend did the map check, so Ticknaldo's probably going to be half a room to a room ahead through this escape, and then do that map check when we get out of the sanctuary. So nothing from Uncle Chest or the secret passage chest. Just got the Sword of Boots so far. We did get that heart container in the Link's House chest, which is low-key pretty useful here in Escape. Not too many enemies hit hard, but the ball and chain and guard does seem to affect a lot of runners. It's one of the hardest enemy in Escape by far. So we'll see that in about 1 minute when they get down. Get down to the cell, the bottom level of the basement. Oh, and we get that Master Sword. That's actually going to make the ball and chain guard a little bit easier. We'll see if either of these runners get a little double spin action on the ball and chain guard to get the quick kill. Master Sword is really nice. I guess we don't need the uncle his advice about using the cape to get through the Aga barrier. And Ticknaldo gonna do 8 slashes. Ball and chain guard's weird. Master Sword does same damage as Fighter Sword. Not sure why. Ascend also going for the slashes. And that's now 3 pieces of heart that we've gotten in Escape. So just 1 more and we'll actually be up to 5 hearts. So as I mentioned before, this is the brackets. This is top 8, quarterfinals, the Elite 8, whatever you want to call it. These runners had to go through 6 games in group stages, and then they both got buys into the top 64. So this is their 4th matchup in brackets. Ticknaldo was 6-0 in groups, and then ended up beating JP, or Brewers fan JP, TJ Jall, and myself, Dapper Wormman, in the subsequent rounds of brackets. Ascend went 5-1 in groups. Also a strong showing. Had to won a tiebreaker there against Super Nint Taylor, and then ran through Cube Soldier, Tedo, and Faker Jr. I think a couple other Germans there in the bracket. So it's been a lot of Germans back to back to back. And the winner of this series, as we can see that Ticknaldo's up 1-0. So Ticknaldo hoping to win today. Ascend looking to extend the best of 3 series. The winner will have to face the winner of Koi and Rob J. Beasley, who are set to face off a little bit later this week, schedules permitting. And there's that nice map. Okay, now we remember we got the map. Now we remember that we have to check the sanctuary chest. Nice little downturn by Ticknaldo in that stupid rat room. And then getting that key rat. The rat playing nice. Oh, and the rat was nice for Ascend in the pool room there. There's that 4th piece of heart, bombs, and blue mail. A little bit of blue, a little bit of red. Yeah, and the nice heart refill, that feels good, even though the overworld isn't very scary in the light world. It's always nice to not be on, say, like half a heart and get heart beeps. And a little bit more blue there, some blueberries, if you will. 3 bombs in the sanctuary chest. And look at that, we're out of here by about 5:20. Well, we get an immediate save and quit by Ascend. That's a little bit spicy. All right, where are we going to go from here? We have immediate divergence out of escape as we get a little bit more traditional bonk rocks checks by Ticknaldo. Another blue item, the shield there showing up. And immediately going to Mini Moldorm Cave, as we see the rupee crab dropping rupees today. Imagine that. Oh, and we see the flippers on the Aga lumberjack tree. Okay. We might need that information from the uncle about how to get into the castle tower sequence. There's a fire rod and some more pieces of heart in Mini Moldorm Cave. Now, flippers are very much required for some of the checks in the game, and a couple of dungeons logically require them. However, they're not actually needed if the pendants and crystal layouts are nice. For instance, we need them to get into Swamp Palace, but we do not necessarily need them to get into Ice Palace. So we'll see what the game has in store for us when we get that Dark World access and get a map check in the Dark World. Dashing by that pit on Ascend's side, sets up a nice little trick called Water Walk here. Oh, and he's checking to make sure how many heart pieces he got. He's afraid of getting a heart refill in the Waterfall Cave, but I think he's safe with the late escape heart piece showing up, giving him that full heart. And there's a lamp there in Blind's hut. Okay, well, Aga has very much intensified. Oh, that's very interesting. We have a hammer in the waterfall that is actually locked behind those flippers that Ascend does not know about. So I think at this point it's a logical Aga seed. It's impossible for it not to be. Okay, we're skipping out on Zora and we're going back for the hobo. We're using the water walk here. That is going to make this check about as fast as you can do it. And I'm going to peep the island here, which is just another piece of art. And we get our bow, our first bow in the well. And to complement that bow, we got some arrows on the hobo. And now it looks like Ascend's gonna go back Kakariko as we get a glove. I was just thinking, could Ascend go up the mountain? But they don't have a glove, so they actually cannot go up the mountain right now. But Ticknaldo certainly could with the glove and the lamp. And there is a Moon Pearl. We have combined Dark World access. And Ascend will actually, if he continues this westerly route, will have actual Dark World access on first trip to Kakariko, which is kind of nice. And yeah, Nustria in chat saying, yeah, Dark World access is flipper locked. That's absolutely true, as Ascend is just finding out. Ascend could find Mit's Dark World access. Both runners could find Mit's Dark World access as well, but it's very likely that the seed wants you to do Aga to get those flippers to then go get the hammer. We'll see if that provides Ticknaldo any tricks here, any sort of a problem tracking that down. Maybe avoids flipper checks, but I think with the bow we go right into Eastern Palace. We've got the bow and the lamp. It's going to be hopefully no problem. And we're going to do Sahasrara first. And no need to talk to Sahasrara in this mode. You can just do a map check in the Dark World to find out what the green pendant is. Bugnet. The French community would call that the filet. And $300 is nice to have on Ascend, or that's Ticknaldo's side. Well, at 10 minutes in, Ticknaldo is going into his first crystal dungeon. That's a pretty good pace for casual boots. You know, if you have to beat 7 crystals and beat Ganon, you're trying to not, you know, maybe do about 10 minutes per crystal is a good pace to be setting. Sometimes you get a lot faster, sometimes you get a little bit slower, but hopefully 10 minutes per crystal is sort of a good barometer for how well your seed is going, I would say, personally. There's another big heart container in Eastern Palace. And thank you to chat for correcting my French articles. Filet is about the only French word I know, besides bonjour, which I just butchered the pronunciation of. And there is that Dark World access for Ascend. We will be very interested to see what Ascend does with that item loadout and knowledge of actually where the hammer was found. Ticknaldo, remember to get the NMG arrows on the way to the right side. So I wonder if Ascend is going to go, you know, do a save and quit, start at Hype Cave, or maybe just run back up. Looks like a save and quit is the choice here. Maybe also wanting to do Eastern Palace just to say, I want to do my logical Eastern Palace. Logically available anyway. But no, going to go right in for the Dark World. So we're going to see a map check hopefully as well. Get some more information about if those flippers are actually needed. I think that's a great call. Get a little bit of early information to see if you need those flippers. And what do you know? Swamp is a crystal. And we get pendants on the right side, green pendant at the bottom in Ice Palace, and then Pendant Pod, Pendant Turtle Rock, and our red crystal was Skullwoods. So Skullwoods combined with Eastern Palace are those red crystals, which will open up the Pyramid Fairy check. You need the 5 and 6 crystals, which are denoted by a red color. That's a very nice flute there in what is this? Hype Cave. It's, I'm just going to give that a 10 out of 10. You get flute. Give me flute early, like 14 minutes. That's a great item. Meanwhile, Ticknaldo quietly already in the back of Eastern. Gonna get the first crystal down here pretty quickly. And some blueberries there. Meanwhile, Senda getting another heart container, already up to 8 hearts at 14 minutes. But Ticknaldo first to draw blood, getting a red crystal from Armos Knights in Eastern Palace. And no surprise here. Ticknaldo saving quitting and then going to go somewhere else. Not much else to do in the Eastern Palace area. I had already done Saha before Eastern. Ascend going to go ahead and turn in the flute before doing any Aga Tower things. Maybe going to do some flute checks to make post-Aga defeated maybe a little bit nicer. Maybe you find Mire or Hookshot or something, you can actually do some stuff. Holding up the sword to speed up the time it takes to activate the bird after activating the Weather Vane. But we do see that cape that Uncle so graciously told us about through the sort of meme text, not necessarily a hint at the beginning of the game. And here comes the bird. Yeah, and Send had not done the dam. I think was thinking a combined dam with a Gina mentality there. Kind of got some nice items from those and didn't need to go back for Dam and Agina. But now it's going to pick up their cape. And possibly flute away somewhere. Watch out. Oh, see, shields saved lives, people. That arrow was going right for Ascend. Just turned, used the shield. Didn't even have to dodge it. And Ascend is going to do Eastern before Sahasrara, which I think with the flute and the glove makes a lot of sense. And will Ticknaldo set up the water walk here? Yes, of course. So I think they're going to get rewarded with their hammer very shortly. They'll be happy to see that. Oh, a nice quick swap strat using the cape to go through Cannonball Room. Love to see it. Oh, and Ticknaldo has actually ran to the hobo first, which I think hoping for a little bit of money between these next 3 checks to find some money for Zora. So not a bad call. Is going to have to swim, get back to the portal. Oh no, don't save and quit in the air. That's sometimes weird. I don't know if that works in the overworld as well. But not actually getting that hammer, not setting up. Maybe he was thinking I'm going to have to swim, and I don't want to swim, it's slow, so I'm just going to go do other things. don't think that saving and quitting in the air is going to mess up any altitude values at all. Oh, look. Oh, okay. I see what Ticknaldo was doing. They just wanted to make sure they had $500 before going to Zora. So this is kind of fine, and it's not too far from the place you would go to set up a water walk. Oh, excuse me, a flake flipper for the rest of the Zora checks. So yeah, would have liked to see them maybe get the money before, you know, before Ice Rod Cave at the 20 rupee cave. It's a few more entries, I think, a little bit more time investment. But this is a new check for us. We saw Desert Ledge, which was nothing, and now we're going to get Agahnim Cave as well. And hopefully, I think Ticknaldo is going to save and quit out of here, which is, from my understanding, going to remove that exploration glitch setup, I think. Plus, I don't see them getting knocked into any walls anytime soon, so pretty safe for now. There's a weird way that you can go into the underworld or whatever it's called. I don't know enough about it to talk about it. Maybe I should not. But Ascend, not taking chances here and getting the item in Eastern big key chest room. Ticknaldo forgetting they don't have flippers, but is gonna use arrows and bombs to try and do a splash delete. Now they have beaten Armos Knights. I think they need to put a couple of the bombs in the water first, because they have beaten the Armos Knights with sets, which sort of modifies the Ancilla, and they're only doing 2 arrows there. I think you need to do 3. Okay, got it. There we go. Something happened in there. Got enough arrows, got enough bombs down. Now we can fake flipper state over here. And you can go into this cave. Do not get hit by the fireball. And you're swimming in the cave. Gonna walk out. Excuse me, swim out. And the game thinks that you have Moon Pearl, so you must be able to be here. And you can walk, and now you're walking inside the cave. And there's that hammer. There's those 3 bombs. And look, we do have enough money. We've gotten the money before we got to Zora. Here is the Armos Knights fight on Ascend's side. Really nice setup here. Something happened there with the last one taking more than 1 arrow, but still got it. Had plenty of arrows in his quiver, and ties up the crystal count at 1 apiece here at 21 minutes. Ticknaldo is going to go into the Dark World from the north, it looks like. They've already been to Kakariko, so this wouldn't be a Kakariko check. There's no new information, no bottle or anything, so they're just going to start in the Village of Outcasts, Thieves Town / Skull Woods area. You've got Hammer, you've got Fire Rod, so you know you can do all the dungeons. Maybe a map check is going to tell them which direction to go. Ascend has finished up all those eastern checks and going to flute off. I would imagine this is Aga Tower, but I guess not. We're not doing Aga Tower just yet. Hoping for some other items to make the trip to East Dark World worth it, I think. Especially with Pendant Pod not wanting to do Aga Tower into Castle into Independent Pod at all. Pendants are gross. You don't want to go into them. But Icky has his pendant crystal information and is choosing to go into Skull Woods as we see Ascend following suit. So both these runners are extremely even in checks right now. The one thing that Ascend has is the flute out of Hype Cave, and then did to Stumpy and the dig game. But I think the flute was the only thing that showed up between all those. Ticky did the Agahnim Cave as well. And both runners going middle chest first and then back. And I would imagine they're going to end their route by walking out of Skull Woods and then going into Village of Outcasts proper and all of that. And Ticknaldo's just rushing the boss, not doing bridge chest first. We'll see what Ascend does. Has to read the RNG from those enemies there to just go around the outside. Yeah, both runners I think had enough health that they just didn't want to take a death warp from the bridge chest enemies, from those mummies there. They're on blue mail, I think, both of them. Tiki out of magic, but got that hammer, which is going to do nice tempered sword damage. One more hammer hit ought to do it. There we go. Nice fight. And just a compass. So we got a small key and a compass. Still 2 items to find in Skull Woods. And Ascend has a little bit of magic. It's on Fire Rod right now. Moth not playing nice being up near those spikes. Yeah, Moth just being a real Moth today, I will say. All right, gets down as well. All right. Well, we none of the runners died on Moth. That's good, and we do get 1 item, another big heart in the back of Skull Woods. Ticknaldo gonna run out, go all the way to the front of Skull Woods. Still looking for 1 item here. Ascend gonna do the same thing. And armed with that key, we can just go straight to the left there and get a key for a key there. There's the map to complement the compass that we already got. And it's another big heart, and Ticknaldo realizes got the key. Usually just faster to run out of here than wait for the slow animation with the Wallmaster. The Skull Woods with just a couple of big heart containers today. Normally that'd be nice, but you know, these runners already had a bunch of hearts, so not that useful. And Ascend gonna spend a little bit more time here because did get the big key out of map chest, and is going to check the big key, which I believe at this point has to just be a small key. Oh, not getting the bomb jump, so just gonna say it's not there. I'm leaving. I'm leaving for other checks in the dungeon that I know I can get to. Okay. Dashing through Sea Hut gets us $5. And Ticknaldo going right into the dungeon. This is nice. You got boots, you got hammer, you got a bunch of health. You don't really need anything else that's going to make this dungeon faster. Just do it now. It's better than running around the Village of Outcasts a lot. So this is a real heads up routing and order of operations, I would say, from Tiki. And we got, I think, the big key and then $50, so that's 1 item. And we're getting a heap at Bumper Ledge, which we got the cape. We don't need it though, it's just $50. Item number 2 in Thieves Town is 10 bombs. Don't need those at all anyway. And a map. Okay, if you get the map or the compass, that means you're going to open up the big chest if you get the small key. So we can kind of not pay attention to that. If I'm a runner, I just mark off that I got all 4 items in this dungeon and just open up the big chest if I get the small key. If I don't get the small key, then it's fine, because that's going to be in the big chest. And of course, not that small key in the hallway, but there's one small key in a chest somewhere in this dungeon that is not on blind or in the attic. And Atheus in chat reminding me that Ticknaldo actually needed money for chest game and dig game, because Ticknaldo has been to Zora and spent 500 bucks, whereas Ascend has not. So Ascend has a lot more money. They're actually just about even, besides that $500 payout there to Zora. So yeah, very heads up there. Gonna have to make sure on Ticknaldo's side that he has got at least 30, which he does. Can't lose money in this game from any chests. And then has enough to pay the 80 for the dig game vendor. There is a rupee game right next door, so that costs 20. So it's definitely in enough, good enough shape to have money for the chess game and then also the rupee game. And we'll probably end up trying to get at least 110 after the dig game as well to be able to go into Palace of Darkness at some point. Really nice God frame there, God pixel on Ascent side, getting through that hellway. And there is that small key that I was talking about in Blind Cell. Oh, and vanilla mitts. Do you like your vanilla ice cream? Because there are the mitts in their original location in the Thieves Town Big Chest. Good thing we had the hammer coming in here. Love to see mitts in Thieves Town, because then you get the hard choice about, do I go and do mirrorless Smith's Chain? Now Ascend has the flute, so I think that is a pretty interesting choice for Ticknaldo, and Ascend might not really have a choice. It's pretty easy to just grab the Smith. Here is Ticknaldo on the blind fight, and after 9 hits, blind will go down, and she does. Nice job. Kind of a little bit improv there, and we're rewarded with the blue boomerang, but more importantly, the 3rd crystal of the game. And here we are at 31-minute mark, almost 32. So staying true to that 10 minutes per crystal pace that I was talking about earlier, that you kind of want to be set on. And Ascend, remembering to pick up the big chest, gets their mitts. Ascend also has the Misery Mire area as an option. Of course, Ticknaldo's going to have that option as soon as Flute shows up, which I don't think is going to be too far away for them. Okay, we do have enough money to pay for the chess game. And you're going to watch what's in the brewery. Oh, there's some money that's closer to that 80. I'm absolutely certain that Ticknaldo will notice that they don't have 80 bucks, since they were wise enough to not go in for the $30 chess game. And here is Ascend, also a little bit off script, but I think did Ascend use the cape there? Yeah, it's kind of disappeared for a while. Gets their 3rd crystal as well. All right, and Ticky missed one of the arrows there, but did get the final 4 to get up to 32 per hit, not 64. But still, that's enough to get to dig game. And you usually find a few red 20s in here, so maybe just hoping to get pod money. Although I don't know if I'd be wanting to go into pod anyway. Yeah, there's some red 20s. Make sure you pick those up. And going to pick up a few more, and that other one ought to do it. That'd be 119. There we go, that's plenty. Nothing that Ticknaldo needs to spend money on that Ticknaldo doesn't have yet. Bottles, possibly later in the seed, but we're pretty healthy. We got blue mail and not a bottle to put any of that blue goo in. Ticknaldo gonna wrap up some of these checks that Ascend already did. Notably not picking up the Smith, not wanting to do mirrorless Smith without the flute. Does not know that he's going to get the flute right here, and probably going to be a little bit of a feel bad, but, you know, who wants to do mirrorless Smiths anyway? Yeah, and Ascent does pick up the Smith. Did not do Dig Game, I don't think, so... Oh, sorry, had already done Dig Game on their original loop, so that was very convenient for them to just do the Smith and pick up the... or do bump the hammer pegs, then pick up the Smith, do a nice save and quit here, and return the Smith at some point. Now Ticknaldo is going where? Oh, have we beaten the 5 and 6? Yeah, Skullwoods and Eastern were both red crystals, so we're gonna get Pyramid Ledge into Pyramid Fairy. Okay, and dashed off. So if you lose the bomb, but you do a transition, a screen transition or a mirror transition on the frame that it goes to 0. There's a little bit of a leeway, but you will actually get the big bomb back in your inventory there. It'll be following you. And so Ticky doing that twice in one go. Good job there. Mirrorless Smith giving us 10 arrows. Oh my gosh, that's the mirror. That is the item that you want to find in this seed, because you can just literally mirror at the top of this and do Aga Tower. I was just thinking to myself, when do you go and do Aga Tower, and when do you do the Pyramid Ledge check? And the answer was when you get mirror. Silly me, not knowing the mirror was just sitting right here on the pyramid. So, if you're just joining us, yes, the runners do have Dark World access. They have mitts, they have hammer, they have flute, but the flippers are in the lumberjack tree. So, Aga Tower is required if you do need the flippers, and the flippers were in the waterfall. Runners got those no problem. But Swamp Palace is a crystal today, so we're going to need the flippers from the lumberjack tree. Hence why we're doing 12 heart Aga with all the Dark World access we will ever want. And I did not catch what the medallion was. Neustria telling me it was Ether in chat, so thank you very much for having better eyes than I. Okay, here goes Ascend to the Aga Tower. I think this is objectively the right call for them at this point. They've checked some things on the Misery Mire area on that screen. And the other options are like going into a pendant or whatever, and they know they have to get the flippers. So just do this now, and then maybe do like catfish right after this. They're gonna fall into that mirror, which is pretty nice for them. Ticknaldo doing a good job here in Castle Tower. Ascend is not too far behind. So right now I would say Ticknaldo's ahead by a little bit. It's definitely not insurmountable. They have not activated their flute yet, and they're going to have the mirror when they go over there. Maybe they clean up Smith Chain. Maybe they just go up the mountain right away. But they also have the 1-0 series lead in this series. So if they do hold on to this small lead that they have, they will be advancing from top 8 to the top 4 of this Casual Boots tournament. So let's see if we could drop a little command in chat to follow these runners and maybe give you some info about the Boots tournament if you want to check out the bracket. I covered a little bit of what it was earlier. Well, the commands don't seem to be working, but I'm sure if you go onto twitch.tv and search for these runners and want to follow them, I'm sure you can navigate that on your own. I believe they're both in the German community, as I was saying, so, you know, perhaps of interest to those of you who speak German, you could follow them and follow your countrymen or language men, if you will. Clearly, they're both very good runners, know a lot about this game, as we saw them didn't have any problems with finding that hammer and doing a couple other tricks. Here we are on the Aga fight. Aga down for Ticknaldo, and Ascend is entering the room before the Aga Tower fight. Ticknaldo remembering to Mire before the save and quit. Good job. For those of you who don't know, if you have beaten Agat 1 and you have the Mire and you're in the Dark World, when you save and quit, you go to the top of the pyramid. That is the way it is in the original game as well. Yeah, and here we go, picking up the flippers. Both these runners scouted the Lumberjack tree on their first trip into Kakariko. And yeah, in the original game, it's hard to beat Agatar without having the Mire and all the other stuff. There's obviously tons of overworld glitches and underworld glitches and stuff, so I think I'm not too familiar with those glitch modes, those glitch percent runs. So yeah, I guess if it's just if Aga 1's beat it and you're in the Dark World, that's good. Would make it hard to get to the Light World if you don't have the Mire, though. And Ascend does take down Agahnim for the first time. And gonna see that Mire and say, oh good, that's what I wanted. I believe they have been up the mountain. Ascend has saved the old man. And there's a nice Mire there. Not fluting though, saving and quitting somewhere. Probably to get the flippers, which I was thinking was going to be faster to flute to 8, but without the flippers, you actually have to do the fake flipper setup to go through that portal. So it's probably faster just to save and quit here. Now Desert Palace is open to us with that Mire. I'm sure Ascend was happy to get the Mire after going to Misery Mire area. We also have access to Tower of Hera, all of the mountain except for the hookshot portions of it. And we also have access to Palace of Dark, excuse me, the Ice Palace with that fire rod and hammer and mitts. There are a lot of options for our runners now. I bet we're going to see some divergence, and indeed we do. Ascend heading back up the mountain. Meanwhile, Ticknaldo, our first trip into Desert Palace. We see 3 bombs on the torch. Don't eat those. Okay, Ascend saved the old man, but did not come up here, so this is a new check for us. Like rupees to me. And there's that big key. And item number 2, just a mere back out and press down, walk out of the dungeon. Okay, small key, and that I think was the map or compass, some stupid item in the basement of Hera basement. The basement cage is its proper name. Oh, wow, not getting dead rocked. Totally thought that was going to be a dead rock on Descent side, but does slip past. But let me just scoot right by you. Some nice, cool looking fire rod dashes there. We got a dash up and then a dash left. And there is that ether medallion we're going to need for Misery Mire. Yeah, nice couple dashes by Tiki there, getting into this Land Molas fight. Yo, nice. One cycle Land Molas. And of course we get a compass. We already got 2 items out of the front, but does take that crystal lead again, 4-3. And a glutton for, or excuse me, a glut of items here in Paradox Cave. 2 in the bottom and 5 in the top. We'll see if anything goes up. Meanwhile, Tiki going up for the old man saving the save point. And actually, yeah, Ascend did not beat Tower of Hera because the big key was in the basement. So I was right about 4-3. I thought maybe I had forgotten that Ascend beat a 4th crystal, but no, still on 3. And of course, the mountain is completely empty. Why would there ever be anything in all these chests that you have access to? Oh, and I didn't pick up on the nice routing there with Ascend actually going into the Dark World and then doing Paradox coming out the bottom. That's the way you want to do it. I think it's proven to be the fastest way, so good job there. And then we just go up here, and we have to run in and out of Super Bunny at some point anyway, so might as well just come up from the bottom. And with the big key being in the big key chest in Hera, we'll see if Ticknaldo chooses to complete this dungeon or not. Spend that time to get the big key and climb. We did get a nice shovel out of Super Bunny. We're going to see if that's important a little bit later. The ether is also required, so we have that ether. We don't need any more of those gold coins. And yeah, it was a compass in Hera basement, and this was the small key. Ticknaldo is going to spend the time. Yeah, there's 0 items you've gotten, so there's 2 up top. And I think with Ticknaldo having 4 crystals, and this is just the 5th crystal, why wait for that hookshot? And hookshot could very well be up here. Meanwhile, Ascend getting nothing in Hookshot Cave is going to actually come back and follow Ticknaldo into the basement here. So that'll be nice that both runners will get whatever's up here, be it good or bad. At least for us, we won't see someone get a massive item and the other runner leave it behind. Of note, Ascend only did check the first chest in Hookshot Cave, was not able to hover. I don't think he even attempted, and not many people can do the hover, so not surprised there. There is one check in Hookshot Cave, which is logically accessible by a bonk, which we saw, and the other ones you have to press that A button repeatedly over and over and over again while moving across a pit. So it's not easy to pull off. And in this mode, or in this seed particularly, you're going to get the hook shot because Swamp Palace is a crystal. So we know we're just going to run across that and maybe check it when we get it, if we even need to. First item in Hera is 20 bucks. Nice little spin for the setup here, and the second item is going to be on Moldorm. And if Ticknaldo can beat Moldorm in the next 25 seconds, we'll actually be on pace for that 5 crystals in 50 minutes pace. And oh, that was very close. Oh, almost got him and fell, but so it was kind of hairy there. Our second item is our first bottle, and it is filled with red potion. It'd be very spicy if that bottle led to a hook shot on Sick Kid, because you can go to the Sick Kid, show him you have a bottle, and he will give you an item. So that is 5 crystals for Ticknaldo, getting down at 50.07. Really nice pace, and hasn't even done the mountain yet, so just gonna go over here and clean up everything we saw from Ascend. So what do we need for go mode? Well, we definitely need the Cane of Samaria, as Ascend gets a nice Moldorm kill as well. We definitely need the Cane of Samaria, and we definitely need the hook shot for Misery Mire and Swamp Palace, respectively. So those are the 2 items. Ticknaldo's in go -1 as soon as they find this ether in, I believe it was right here in Spiral Cave. Okay, immediate Sick Kid check. And what is the answer that Sick Kid has for us? It is $5. Too bad you can't buy a hookshot for $5 anywhere. Okay, Ascend, having already been to Misery Mire area, knows that Ether was the medallion, or is the medallion still, and is just going to do Desert here, because it's a crystal, why not? Ascend gonna get second item out of Desert here and be happy to see that. Doesn't have to make the gamble on big chest versus the boss. Yeah, chat pointing out that both of these runners skipped Spike Cave. Ticknaldo makes a lot more sense. Was coming over here for these items, see if they maybe map that up right now. But Ascend had done the mountain and then he went back for Hera. So perhaps ending on Spike Cave would have been a good choice. I don't think they did that on the original trip when they saved the old man. Even though they also had the cape at the time. Oh, we're going to see the hover attempt from Ticknaldo. This could only theoretically be Samaria for our go mode, not hookshot, because hookshot is required to get these chests. And did not work out today. Just going to move along. And looks like do Spike Cave. That's a new check for us. Oh, so close to the 1 cycle. That was just a little bit off. The Moldorm went down there. Excuse me, the landmo went down. Ascend does tie up that crystal count, though. 5-5 now. Was a little bit behind getting to 4. And, you know, after, you know, both these runners come out of their little cutscenes here, we're going to be pretty much even. Nothing that one runner has done, the other hasn't, has paid off immensely or at all. So let's see where we go now. Icky is going to do K45, it looks like. There's a Mire check over here that both runners skipped because they didn't have the Mire at the time. Ticknaldo did do Spike Cave just before the save quit there. Oh, looks like I said drank that bottle. And a fortuitous hook shot in K45 here because Ticknaldo is right by Swamp Palace, which needs that hook shot. Oh, and I think we're going to get the shovel check as well. Nice little combination of items in a similar area. And that would have been funny if that was Samaria, because that is our go mode item for both these runners. Excuse me, Ascend still needs that hook shot, so not actually go -1 for Ascend. Go -2, in fact. But there's a pretty obvious play right now for Ticknaldo to go into Crystal Swamp Palace with all the items that you need to beat Crystal Swamp Palace. But Ascend is saying, I'm going to hope that something's in Ice Palace. I don't have Hookshot or Samaria, but here I go into Ice Palace. So they drank their red, but I don't think went... Oh, that was that... Yeah, that was Ascend who drank their red potion in Agahnim Cave, wherever they were, but did not fill it up. Maybe they filled it up and I just kind of missed it. Maybe they went to the potion shop. I would think they would drink the red in anticipation of buying a blue. Okay, thank you, Tongo in chat. So yeah, the quick trip to the potion shop is so quick that I didn't even notice it. So it doesn't really save or lose a lot of time. In fact, it probably saves time because you don't die on a boss, or you have magic to beat a boss quicker. So yeah, get your safeties. Safeties are worth it. Hitting the switch in order to go through here to the Ice Palace bomb jump side. No Samaria today, no Icebreaker right now. Ticknaldo gonna get the Specky key. This tournament has allowed Specky clips since its inception earlier this year. Before it was allowed by other tournaments and or competitive races. So we got the Specky key and a lobby key. Do we go and check Compass Chest first? Yeah, we do. And really nice setup there, Ascend, with those 1 pixel movements. And no hook shot, so can't get there quick. Oh, almost fell into that pit. Yeah, so Specky Clip has been legalized in some other, or all of the competitive races now. Of course, you know, you could have your own rule set whenever you play your a pickup game or whatever, or make your own tournament. You can do whatever rule set you want. But the sort of baseline now includes Specky Clip, which we did see there. And we get the unnecessary Quake and possibly unnecessary Big Key to Swamp Palace. Okay, no hook shot, so we're gonna go through here and do a pretty interesting bomb jump on the right side. The rarely seen Ice Palace bomb jump 2. And I just saw the mushroom show up on Ticknaldo's side, so perhaps a trip to the potion shop is in his future as well. We did also grab Michael Phelps' key in anticipation of needing that key, and then also going back for Specky's side. So Ascend is going to have to be on the bottom pixel there, which I think they just did by doing that spin. Oh no, a little bit high. Ticknaldo going to set up for some spins on the Argus Puffs. That's got to be the lowest pixel for Ascend. There we go. Yeah, just make yourself all the way left, all the way on the bottom, and then just put a bomb and wait. So these chests may or may not be hookshot locked. We have not gotten a small key. There's probably going to be a couple of small keys over here, maybe one. And if we get a nice ice rod, call it nice because you might not need it. It's nice to have if you do. There's one key on the right side of Ice Palace. Meanwhile, right at the 1 hour mark, 60-minute mark, call it, Ticknaldo does get his 6th crystal, so staying on that pace. Hoping to run into Cane of Samaria at some point. Okay, that was another key, or that was not another key there. We'll see what this one is. It's a green bottle. That's nice to have in Ice Palace. Take you going back through. There's that nice Specky clip. Put that bomb down, go all the way on the left. Back yourself up. Oh, unnecessary big key. It's just a map. And chat helped me piece together the logic. Yeah, I don't think that Ice Rod's going to be needed, because in order to beat Trinex in Turtle Rock, you're going to need the red cane, the Cane of Samaria. If you ever get confused about what cane is called what, just call it by its color. But yeah, that red cane locks all of the items inside of Turtle Rock, so we're definitely not going to need the cane, or excuse me, the Ice Rod today, because we have the there's no way that Ascend is going to find that Ice Rod and say, I'm going to need that, because it's going to have the hook shot by that point, and we'll be in Samaria go mode. But Samaria was not here. Is it going to be on Cold Stare? I did notice that Ascend did not get the big chest. I think they forgot and or didn't do the bomb jump correctly. And using that green potion to just fill up. Oh, might have to. Let's drink that blue. Let's drink that blue. Yeah, here we go. Better safe than sorry. Okay, mushroom turn in. What's that going to be? And we're looking on the left. That's just a small key. So I think there's an item in the big chest. And I've got to think this is hookshot locked with that. Oh, it's a green pendant too. I didn't even realize this is a green pendant. So this is quite the play. Hookless, Samaria-less. And that's a hook. That's definitely a Samaria locked dungeon. And it's definitely a hookshot locked dungeon with the other small key being on the right side. I think. I'm going to have to double check myself on that. And did we get the mushroom check? Okay, no mushroom check, but Ticky's going to use that hookshot and go up here and look for Samaria. Yeah. Yeah, actually, this is with the big key being accessible and the small key being on the right side and the boss having the small key. That's the one instance where the boss is actually locked by the hookshot and Samaria. So very unfortunate for Ticknaldo there that that turned out to be the case. We do know that Samaria is not going to be on the pedestal, obviously, with Turtle Rock being a pendant, and it's not. And neither of those items are going to be on the green pendant turn-in. So that was a very unfortunate choice for Ascend. Okay, rewarded with, I saw a little Cheeto stick, the red sword. Tempered sword, some will call it. So in Randomizer, there's a, because of the places that logically can have items like the keys and the big keys and all that, it is possible to have Samaria locking the boss of Ice Palace, and you know that because if a small key shows up on Cold Stare, then it's 100% locked by Samaria, and then because of the other layout with where the small and big keys were, I believe we actually have been hookshot locked out of the boss as well. So I don't know if Ascend is aware of that logic or not, paying attention. But yeah, would absolutely know with the small key that Samaria cannot be on the boss or anything behind the boss, including the green pendant turn-in. And I think the big key was accessible because I don't remember seeing it on the right side. So that would mean that with the small keys being where they were, the green pendant also cannot be the hookshot in this one rare case. Yeah, and this is the 100% items accessible. I don't think it's 100% locations. Just theoretically, like we were talking about, the Thieves Town big key, or small key could be in the big chest and lock itself. This is not the 100% locations where you're guaranteed to get to every location, and the key logic would be a little bit different. That doesn't really come into effect, but it's just interesting to keep in mind. So where is this Samaria? We have Ticknaldo looking inside of Misery Mire. Gotta find the big key. I think you just go into here looking for the big key and hope the Samaria is here. And if it's not, you just kind of leave and look for it in all the other places you would. Yeah, I think we left an item in the big chest of Ice Palace as well. So that could, with the big key being available, be the Samaria, the Cane of Samaria. It could also be hookshot in Ascend's mind, but we know where that is, so we know that that is not true. Big key to pod in map chest. Along with the other small key we need, 4 keys in the front of pod. The double key, left side of Misery Mire, big key and small key. If one of those is a small key, you know the other one's the big key. You don't check cutscene before compass chest, so we didn't know. It's not always the other way. The big key does not mean there's a small key on the left side of Misery Mire, but the small key does mean the big key is over there. So we're getting a hammer yump here, some pause buffers, trying to get just the perfect pixel. Question in chat, where was hookshot? It was at Cave 45. Super convenient for you if you check that before diving hookless Swamp Palace. Would have been nice for the runners to have that if they had beaten Aga first. They would have had the Mire, which was on Pyramid Ledge. Maybe do that before they go to all of the Village of Outcasts, Smith Chain, etc. But neither of them had that the first time, so they had to make a special trip for it. And then we saw Ticknaldo make a special trip back up the mountain after full clearing everything except Hookshot Cave. And that yielded the Tempered Sword, but no other progression. And Gluting on the transmission there. I think it's setting up a cool spooky action at a distance setup, a little altitude value. Splash damage, not necessarily spooky. Yeah, getting some nice splash damage onto that Resor there. Okay, we got a blue bottle and a book. The book is in Palace of Darkness. That leads to a few items. That leads to 2 items specifically. Maybe this will take Ascend over to Bombo's tablet, which is kind of close to Cave 45. First, it's going to take Ascend up the mountain to Ether Tablet. And they also skipped Spike Cave, so this is kind of a double whammy as well. Both these runners, collectively, for our eyes, have checked a lot of things. So Samaria's got to turn up somewhere. It's just a matter of where. That bomb may be a little too far left, yeah, to hit that that crystal switch. And there we go. That's better. And there's the Cave of Samaria, so we have to go into Pendant Pod to get the book, to go back up the mountain. Now, Ascend is going to go back into, Misery Mire here. Maybe hope the hook shot shows up there. Okay, we get a different setup for Ice Palace Bomb Jump, and Ticknaldo gets it. Meanwhile, that 1 hour, 10 minute timer has come and gone, and Ticknaldo has not gotten 7th crystal, but Ascend is going into his 6th crystal. And yeah, we are in collective no mode for our restreaming here. Nice stair clip there for Ticknaldo. Are we going to get to see what that big chest is? Now, Ascend is going to be looking for the hook shot, so we're going to do a little bit more clearing, I think, after finding that big key. Okay, there's that big key. Yeah, that's all hookshot locked, and the boss is Samaria and hookshot locked, because we know that the boss has his other small key. Now, theoretically, one of those could be in the big chest. In both these runners' mind, we know it's not. So we're going to see what's in that big chest anyway, even though it doesn't matter. Okay, running away from those freezors here. And jumping over to check Ice Tea Room. We have a vanilla map as well in Misery Mire. Oh, and did we see the green 20? Oh, silver arrows were in the big chest of Ice Palace. That's kind of important. Hopefully Ascend is at least upgraded to tempered at some point, which will make things a little better, but for the Ganon fight and for these bosses. But those silver arrows are really nice to have, especially for Vitreous and the Ganon fight and some of the Gauntlet as well. I would suspect that Ascend's not going to have too much trouble without them, but it is slower. And there's the green pendant. Now, Ticknaldo's paying attention, knows, we should have known that that was a small key and that Samaria cannot be behind it, but taking the fight for the health refill. And you know, it was kind of a weird route because had to do the bomb jump, didn't have Samaria, didn't have a small key to go right, so had to use the hook shot part. And then the big key was also on the right and had hit the switch, so you know, wanted to do the fast way to check Ice Tea before doing the big chest, but is going into pod. We'll see if he swaps over to the light world here for the unnecessary Saha check. But here's Ascend on the Master Sword fight, leaves plenty of arrows to get 8 into the big eye of Vitreous here. And Ticknaldo does have the Mire out, small key on Cold Stare is the 100% sign that Samaria cannot be behind that boss. So, but we're going to get something red anyway. So it's a race to our progression item here for both runners. Who's going to find their last item for their 7th crystal before the other one does? Ascend going up the mountain with Samaria. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. They can get into Turtle Rock. They can beat Turtle Rock. Or excuse me, they can't beat it. They can go very far in Turtle Rock looking for that hook shot. Ticknaldo did all of Misery Mire looking for the big key and hoping that the cane was just in there. So when they do get Samaria, they're just going to run through that dungeon. Ascend, meanwhile, needs the hook shot. That could be anywhere. It could be in Swamp Palace for all Ascend knows. So taking a gamble here. Already did Ice for no reason. Already did Pod. Did get progression there. I'm going to take my chances on another Pendant dungeon having my progression, and is going to go into Turtle Rock here. Pendant Turtle Rock. Yeah, too bad for Ascend that Turtle Rock was the Ether Medallion. If it was Quake or Bombos, they wouldn't have that yet, and this would not be an option for them. But it looks like they're going to take an unnecessary trip into here. They're not even going to get silvers for this. Might find tempered along the way, maybe. And Ticknaldo's getting that book and that bottle. Blue bottle, green book. And Ticknaldo, without having the option to go into Turtle Rock, I think is going to run into that Cane of Samaria a little faster than it looks like Ascend will run into Hook Shot. Just be a matter of whose dungeon is faster combined with their Go Mode item. Question chat about Misery Mire. Both of these runners already have the big key. It was on Compass chest, the fire locked side, but Ascend has beaten Misery Mire and Ticknaldo has gone in there looking for the big key, so already has that in his inventory. So no real big key hunt for Mire today. We will have a big key hunt for Ganon's Tower big key at some point. Eventually when one of these runners gets their 7th crystal. But Ticknaldo hoping to hang on to this 1-0 series advantage and this lead, make it a 2-0 series win today. Ascend hoping to extend the series. Needs a win today for that to happen. One question is, will Ticknaldo beat Helmosaur King here in Palace of Darkness? There might be an item, I'm actually not sure. That would be a little bit of a time investment. Oh yeah, compass and map. There's definitely an item on Helmosaur King. I think you're here, I think you have to go for it. Pod is so bad to get back to, and then it takes forever to get to the boss once you're in the dungeon. I think you just do it now, you suck it up. I honestly think Ascend is going to be done with Laser Bridge before Ticknaldo is done with the Helmosaur King. So it'll be kind of be a race at that point to where does each runner go next. Go Mode Swamp and Go Mode Mire are, I would say, pretty equal. There's, you know, a fair number of rooms in each of them that you have to get back to. Swamp takes a little bit longer to get in from the overworld too, whereas Mire is just a quick flute away. And we're going to get Mimic Cave first. We know this isn't anything, but it could be something. It could be another sword. Okay, Ticknaldo actually in this Helmosaur fight before Ascend is even into Crystal Roller Room. I think that means Ticknaldo is going to be out of this dungeon before Ascend is out of theirs. And yeah, that silver arrow making that definitely true. Very nice quick swap there to that silver arrow, the silver bow, if you will, and getting a little refill. So Ticknaldo pretty much has like Catfish. I think that they were the one who did Zora, so they don't have Zora to do, and they have the tablets to check. That's pretty much it for them. And we're going up here. Are we not? Are we checking ped? We're not checking ped, of course. This might be wrapping up Smith Chain into Bombo's tablet. Oh, there's powder for Ascend. That'll add to the list of things that they can do. Yeah, I was hoping Ticknaldo already made the mistake of looking at Saha's closet, or excuse me, Saha's Raw Light Green Pendant turn-in for Samaria when it could be there. I was wondering if they maybe lost track of some of the logic for possible places for Samaria for Go Mode. Definitely can't be on ped considering Samaria is needed to get all 3 of the pendants today. Glad that they just doing the Smith Chain here. That's probably going to be Smith Chain into Bombo's tablet. Ascend is very nearby, although in the light world, not the dark world. Okay, there's Bombos, which is not going to be helpful at all. Nothing else in this game is going to need Bombos. Ascend has not turned in Shovel yet, which was a little bit earlier. I know we saw this from Ticknaldo. Probably money, question mark. Yep. Okay, Ascend looks like going to be going to their go mode hookshot. Yeah, pulling out the Mire, going south. This is it for them. They're going to be first to go mode here at about 125. Ticknaldo, meanwhile, not running into that Samaria. And there's that go mode, 125.15 for Ascend. Very close to Swamp Palace. This is just a very quick trip over here. So now the clock is ticking for Ticknaldo. I think we should switch to Ascend's audio if we can. I'm gonna try and do that for us. Well, I don't think I can do that, but anyway, we're gonna have some game audio anyway. I know we had a little bit of problems with game audio in the beginning, so I'm not gonna fix it if it ain't broke. I think with Ticknaldo having done so much of all the mountain, they have literally nothing on the mountain except for Ether Tablet, because they have already gone up to Hookshot Cave. So that's 2 trips. They know they have to make that 3rd trip for Ganon's Tower. They're just trying to limit their mountain trips, play to their outs. They did check Bombo's tablet, I think. No, they had like fluted with the purple chest. I don't think they even checked Bombo's tablet. So they win they did not follow the progression from Pod. But chat is talking about the silvers versus no silvers, which at this point Ascend is not going to be getting silvers. One nice smooth movement over does Specky Clip. And this is Go Mode Swamp, so not needing to open any chests, just get this key and get Michael Phelps' key, and you're good to go. Ascend also, by the way, has Master Sword, as chat's also talking about. Not out of the question to check possibly Hookshot Cave on your way to Ganon's Tower, just in case it's tempered or silvers. And also many chests in GT that could possibly have it. That's a really nice setup there without having to run into the water. Yeah, I see Ascent checking some things, you know, that are just like literally on the way. So possibly gonna be going to Hookshot Cave. If you're spending time for these, probably gonna do Hookshot Cave. And here is, I've got to think this is next to last location for Ticknaldo at this point, because we know this isn't it. Yeah, that clock is ticking. The time is getting smaller and smaller. If Ascend does not get another sword, though, I think it's still close, to be honest, with Tempered and Silvers versus Master Sword. All those spins you have to do on Ganon, it could be very close. Of course, Ganon's tower routing to find the big key plays a big factor in your end game. Oh, we did get switched to Ascend's audio, so that's great. Ascend being the one in the lead, the one that's going to be close to 7 crystals. That's 3rd and 4th Fire Rod shot. Gets Argus down, picks up that Ice Rod, and maybe has a little laugh or a smirk. And here is Ticknaldo getting Ether Tablet check, which is going to be that Go Mode Cane of Samaria here at 129. So roughly 5 minutes behind Ascend. Has a very quick Misery Mire to do, not too slow, because they've already been there, already got the big key, already full cleared the entire dungeon, except for the boss. So you're looking at, I would say, about 3 minutes. That's about what it takes to go from where Ticknaldo is to be running up the mountain where Ascend is. So roughly a 3-minute lead for Ascend. Not great when you're talking about the difference in equipment that they have. Ascend still on that Master Sword, Ticknaldo on Tempered, and Silver Arrows, which Ascend unfortunately skipped due to some gaffes in Ice Palace. And yeah, if you want to throw a number in chat, 1 through 22, there's only 22 places that the Ganon's Tower Big Key can be, and we're going to be paying attention to Ascend stream here. Now they're going up through the cave, which they've already checked Super Bunny Cave. I did remember that they had checked that. This is slightly slower, but not significant enough to matter. I always take the Dark World route as well. Are we gonna pop off here? We are. There is a sword here. As long as they don't skip one of these chests, they are gonna find the sword. Not surprised to see this based on how many chests in Swamp Ascend was checking. And yeah, now feeling a lot more comfortable. Very nice spooky setup there by Ticknaldo, getting a little spooky action at a distance and getting it again. Nice little setup you can do to fire that fire rod shot and then actually hit the crystal switch in a different part of the screen. But Silver Arrows here, gonna make Vitreous real quick, a lot faster than Ascend's Master Sword fight was. And okay, 131, 17, 7th crystal for Ticknaldo and Ascend going into Ganon's Tower. So this is actually more like a minute to a minute 15. If you want to talk about Ticknaldo not picking up the hookshot cave that Ascend made a detour for. So Silver's still playing an important role here. Silver's going to make the Ganon's Tower Gauntlet a little bit faster for Ticknaldo. Ganon's definitely going to be faster. So this is not over yet, folks. One arrow, one key. The one arrow just rubbing it in to Ascend that they don't have the Silver Arrows. And that was only... Oh, there was another key there as well. And some money. There is a key in Hope Room. There are 10 more arrows in Hope Room. Hope Right would have been a thing if anyone likes that route. I believe we've checked 7 checks now. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Skipping Tile Room, as you do. Getting all 4 torches lit. And we're going to get Samaria strats here. So we've got 7 checks, 8, 9, 10, and 11 coming up. If that's your number, pay attention. Or if it's not, pay attention. 9 is nothing. Or, sorry, 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 are all nothing. Not even a big key or a small key. And here comes Ticknaldo into Ganon's Tower. Ticknaldo could make up a lot of time, a small amount of time by doing maybe Hope right and then left. Or if they just do Hope left and do like a rando rush, they would be honestly right on Ascend's heels. Got the cane out. Okay, gonna go full right. Or excuse me, at least a compass room. Number 12 check on Ascend's side was nothing. 13 coming up. Now, Ticknaldo is going to have to make sure they get that key on the right side, so that's going to add a little more time. Okay, 12 was nothing. Rando room, what you got for us today? 13, 14, 15, and 16 coming up. If there's a small key here, the big key's going to be here too. Not the other way around. Okay, no small key and no big key. We must be on 18, 19, 20, and 21 coming up. So that was through 17 for us. I sense quick swap into powder. Gonna get rid of Bob here. R.I.P. Bob. And there's that big key, number 18. And a quick swap to Mire. And there we go. It was 135. Let's call it 23. So we'll pay very much attention to how far Ticknaldo is behind and how much time they're going to try and make up on this climb. Mimics 1 and 2 down. Running up here through the spiky room. Half magic really nice here. I think Ascend has a blue. No, they definitely used their green and their blue, and I don't think they went back to fill up their potions. And we are going to use that ether for a third time today. Get rid of those enemies. So looks like Ticknaldo is going to be, it's already a minute and a half behind. This is probably going to be about a minute 40. Oh, I hope they get it. Okay, that would have been very bad if they had missed that. So yeah, a minute 40. So that's in an ideal world where Ascend makes 0 mistakes. I don't think that's enough time to make up, but you know, it's late in the seed. Who knows what could happen here? You know, this race is still a little bit too close to call at this point for me. Both runners still very much in it. Silver arrows are a thing. They're going to make Ticknaldo's Ganon fight a little bit faster. I don't know about a minute and 40 though. The good news for Ascend is that they have half magic, so when they're doing their Master Sword, or excuse me, Tempered Sword Ganon spins, they won't be too worried about running out of magic. Whiz Ropes 2, great job there. Gonna have enough magic to get through here if they use the lamp. And Ticknaldo is now climbing in Gauntlet 1. Stolfo's being a little bit pesky. And using Lamp here as well. Ascend did not want to pick up the magic down there right below Torches too, which I don't blame them for. They are going to need a small key. They're going to look for silvers or another sword. Meanwhile, those silvers coming in real handy for Ticknaldo. Great Landmo 2. 1 cycle. Ticknaldo basically a floor and a half behind here, and there is that nice full magic. And Ascend is actually just picking up all the chests, hoping for silvers or another sword. Another sword, not so much. Silver's really the big time save if you find them at this point. All right, we'll keep an eye on here. 39:15 was when Moldorm 2 was exploding. I think Ticknaldo's making up ever so slightly a little bit of time, especially with those silver arrows. I don't think it's creeped under 60 seconds yet. Getting some fairly decent Aga 2 patterns. I think can get a 3-cycle out of this. Okay, there was one more hit to be made, I think. This is going to be 4-cycle. There we go. And it is, was it 39:15 that I said? So it is under a minute difference right now. It's 40. It was less than 40:15 when Ticknaldo was beating Moldorm 2. So this is quite the race here. It needs to run up here and defeat Aga 2. Yeah, that I thought I saw more doubles than I did, and here's that might have been a double, but it also could have been that single there. Ganon reminding us to get our burrito orders in for lunch, or maybe dinner in Germany. I'm not sure what time it is there. Definitely later than here on the West Coast, U.S. Still Morgan here, and there is that Aga 2 down for Ticknaldo. Checks the race time room. No one's finished yet. Ascend making good use of that cape. Just not wanting to get hit here. And Ascend just gets the bad news about where they were. Does get the torch glitch here. Okay, it's got to get 12 spins. Let's count them. 1. And here's this should be 2. Then need to get the torch before 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, nice setup for a triple, I think. Ticknaldo is on phase 2 now. Pretty free setup here. Yeah, definitely got at least 3 spins here. Ascend must be up to about 7 or 8 now. Ticknaldo needs to get through phase 3. I don't think it's going to be close enough. Ganon being very nice. There goes down Ganon on Ascend's side. Just barely beating Ticknaldo here. Ticknaldo setting up for a double. And is going to get maybe another double to finish it off. Get your GGs in chat for both of these guys. 1:42:40. Ascend crosses the bridge, whereas Ticknaldo is in the cutscene, getting fanfare sniped here, and is going to cross that bridge. 1:42:51 to 53, just 13 seconds behind. What a race! We will see if either of these runners want to come in for a little post-race interview. But man, what a race. That was super epic. Uber epic, we'll call it. And Ascend does get the victory here to force this to a game 3. And we'll see when later this week that they want to schedule that, but I'm sure it'll be restreamed here. And we are joined by today's winner, Ascend. GG, congratulations on your win.
GG. Oh, never thought I could win this. This felt so bad, the hookshot in K45.
Yeah, that is one that Ticknaldo found, and then they had a lot of trouble finding their Samaria after getting the book. They did not want to check the book checks, so that it was very interesting. They had silvers, and they had the tempered sword a lot longer than you did. You never got those silvers, but so we knew you had quite the lead, and it just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we're
Okay.
glad you found that tempered sword.
Yeah, he said in Ice Palace. So yeah, this was the one. Normally, I always you have hookshot. You come from this side, you drop down, get the big chest, and after dropping down, I realized, yeah, no hookshot. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it could not be. At the end, was also Samaria locked, and was also hookshot locked. So I thought, okay, should not be anything special, but yeah, silvers. Oops.
Yeah, we did notice that you didn't check Sahasrara, and that was good because the boss was locked by both the hookshot and the Samaria. So you had to find those somewhere else.
Yeah,
Ticknaldo did.
therefore. Sorry.
I was just gonna say Ticknaldo did check those, looking for Samaria.
Okay.
But yeah, you had early Dark World access and all that, and found out knowledge about having to beat Lumberjack. Is that a big eye roll for you? Just saying, oh no, gotta do all this.
Yeah, because Ice Palace was hookshot locked. I also was not interested in the pot boss. I think that one should still have an item. I think.
Yeah, Pod did have an item on Helmasaur.
Yeah, but after the accident with the big chest and Ice, I felt really bad, and yeah, therefore went directly after the book, which led me into TR, which was also not a good idea.
Yeah, you full cleared Turtle Rock, which made it a lot closer, to be honest. That was a trap we hoped you did not fall into, but thankfully for you, you got the win, and there will be a game 3, so that must feel good.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit less, how do you say it? Weights on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Now it's for both of us one game KO again.
Yeah. Any thoughts about the next game when it's scheduled? I'm sure you haven't thought about it because you usually just schedule 2 games and not a third, but I'm sure we'll all be looking.
Yeah, we did not schedule the third. So tomorrow I have my league match. So probably at the earliest on Wednesday, but I will talk with Ticknaldo to see where we can find a place for the third match. Probably more like to the weekend to give us a little bit time, because now I've played then 3 matches of casual boots after another, one day after another. So 1 or 2 days free from this mode would be perhaps good to relax a little bit from it.
Yeah, I feel that. It's a great mode, but sometimes you want a little bit of a break. So, yeah, thank you so much for being on Restream and for hopping in the interview booth. And good luck in Game 3 whenever that happens. I wish you the best of luck. And if you have anything else before we're done, feel free to say something.
Yeah, just the normal things. Like everyone says, thank you for the restream. Thank you for commentating, Dapper. Thank you for tracking Jestro. And yeah, thank you very much for the restream opportunity here. And yeah, GG's to Ticknaldo again. And for the German time zone, have a nice evening. And for everyone else, have a nice day.
Thank you very much again, and I echo all those sentiments. Thank you, Jestro, for tracking for us, and everybody for tuning in. We hope you had a great evening, afternoon, or morning watching us here on SpeedGaming 3, and look forward to more matches. There's plenty of other games. More Zelda League is happening. We're in week 2 right now. It's also casual boots, so if you like this mode, just turn on one of the Speed Gaming channels. I'm sure you'll find something you like. And that's going to do it for us today. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much.